Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Joyous Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays. So welcome back to Weird Canadian Kid Shows. Today it's a very jolly Weird Canadian Kid Shows because we're taking a look at The Secret World of Santa Claus. The show used to play on Teletoon in Canada. I guess the show first launched in 1997, which is the year I was born. In 1999, on Christmas Day, the show had a marathon, which took place from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., and it would play every single December on Teletoon up until 2013. It was a French-Canadian television show that featured Santa Claus and his elves going on missions and jobs and tasks to make Christmas go smoothly, more or less. Just want to address what I'm wearing. I have a Christmas sweater. I looked for it. Couldn't find it. I spent like a solid 30 seconds looking for it, and then I said, fuck it. So I grabbed the next best thing, Charlestown Chiefs jersey. Anyways, let's just get on with the show. Basically, the entirety of the time that my family had cable, every December, I would watch this show. I don't remember liking it at all. I actually remember not liking it and not being happy about having to watch it. But I also remember feeling like I had to because it was a Christmas show. And the regular shows that I liked were on TV. But for some reason, I like instated this rule for myself. It's like, The Secret World of Santa Claus is on. You gotta watch it. It's Christmas, you know? And it wasn't like my parents were making me watch it or my grandparents or anybody. I just, for some reason, created this expectation that I had to watch this show because it was December. Anyways, the first thing that I noticed when watching it, again, is that the elves are a bit of a redesign from what we're used to seeing. They don't have the traditional pointy, triangular elf ears that we're accustomed to seeing on characters in things like Lord of the Rings, Legend of Zelda, or really any other pop culture elf. Instead, they go for these more rounded, big ears that frankly look kind of similar to my own. They stick out and are rounded. So I guess you could say that I related to that. Big goofy fucking ears, bad fucking genetics, thanks a lot, Mom and Dad. The second thing that I noticed was that they gave absolutely no care and attention to syncing the dialogue to the mouths.
Jordy's staying here so he can repair the toy machine. Then why'd our computers say the opposite?
They must have broken into our system via the SantaNet.
Now I have a theory about this. I think that the reason they did this is because it was a bilingual show. Not that the show in itself is bilingual, it's just that like if you were living in an English part of the world, it was in English. If it was in the French part of the world, it'd be French, German, and so on. So I think their thinking was, why bother wasting the time animating the mouth to closely resemble? I know that animation, it's hard to get that perfect, but like even shows like SpongeBob, you know, it's not too far off. It doesn't seem random, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It looks like the mouths are moving linguistically. I don't know if that makes any fucking sense at all. Basically, in this show, they just put no effort into making it look like they were actually talking at all. Here's an example.
Something here doesn't make any sense.
Hang on, I'll be right there.
What are we going to do, Santa?
I'll start off with snow and artificial fog, calling all elves.
Right? Like, isn't that weird? It would be like if I decided to dub myself over here. See how it doesn't look like I'm saying anything at all? It looks like I'm just making like a noise. That's what the show feels like. You're watching it and you can't help but fixate on the mouths because they're so ridiculously out of sync and don't look like they're trying to even attempt to speak any spoken language. It's not even caveman shit. There's no grunt going on. It's just a mouth opening and closing like a fish. And I found this really interesting. I went on IMDb to look at some of the trivia. That's one of the sources that I use to get information. IMDb, Wikipedia, if the show has a website, or just YouTube videos. But for this, I went on IMDb like I usually do, checked out the trivia section, and found this. Only one trivia fact, and it was this. The Adventures of Santa Claus and His Fairy Friends. Now, maybe this is like a translation thing. Like maybe in French, the elves are called fairies. Because I definitely, in the episode that I watched, he's definitely referring to his elves as elves, not fairies. I also think it's great that 0 out of 2 people found this interesting. So I'm guessing one of these people is me. So me and the other guy that looked at this trivia fact, we did not find this interesting at all. One creative decision, which I feel like is a laziness thing, not a creative thing, was that they reduced the amount of reindeer that Santa has to 3. Like, everybody knows that Santa has more than 3 reindeer. That number does vary depending on if you're including Rudolph or not, but like 3 is like a drastic decrease in reindeer. In this episode that I watched, there's this town or city where there's only like 2 good kids in the entire place. So Santa's like, something's fucked up there, let's go put the kibosh on this and take care of it, get some more good kids so I can deliver more presents to this place. Kind of reminds me of the Year Without a Santa Claus storyline. Christmas spirit's really low, and they have to go to the town, whatever, I'm not talking about that. And while they're there, they assume these secret identities, and one of the elves gives himself the nickname Gilfy.
And yours?
Gilfy.
Gilfy.
Class, this is Thorin and Gorfy.
Gilfy.
Nah, I ain't saying nothing.
Hello, Guilty.
Gilfy. Yo.
But Gilfy. You know, at the end of the year when like Pornhub does their Spotify thing and it just tells you what states and provinces were looking up what porn, like what was the most common search result? North Pole, guaranteed gilfs. Another weird moment is there's this character named Gruzzlebeard, and he's like the anti-Santa, nega Santa. He's like the dark link to Santa's link. Santa. I need to fucking learn how to speak the English language before I keep doing these videos. God damn. These 2 naughty kids show up at his toy factory, and he gets a little too excited, if you ask me.
Why, it's a couple of children! Yahoo! I caught me some real live children!
They're kids, like, relax, all right? You've kidnapped children. You don't need to get too hyped about that, all right? Like, it makes me a little uncomfortable. And I mean, like, obvious dark joke aside, like, if we move on from that, it's still child labor. I don't know, everybody's just kind of cool about it later, too. Like, when Santa and the elves roll up, they're kind of just like, you scamp, getting all hyped about kidnapping some kids again. Gruzzlebeard is a great character, though, in general. I just like this idea of an evil Santa. Hey, does anybody remember that IMAX movie, Snowman vs. Santa Claus? Completely unrelated, but the thought of an evil Santa made me think of, like, Santa having an enemy, and then I remembered there's, like, this Hoth parody in that. I don't know what my brain's doing right now. I like to talk about theme songs on this show and how much I like them. This one.
Will be yellow, it ain't dry. No wonder if I wonder where you go.
Doesn't do it for me. I think it's kind of shit. But yeah, so that's the secret world of Santa Claus. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas or whatever you happen to celebrate. And thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your year, day, holiday. Bye.